Hey, you're listening to Don't Lie to Your Life Coach podcast with Kim Arrington. I'm Kim Arrington. I'm a life coach, a weight loss coach, an author, and a badass passionate about helping you connect back to your most authentic self. Join me here each week so I can coach you on how to think all those juicy thoughts that get you feeling your absolute best and taking some big ass action. Coaching has changed my life, and it can change your life too. I'm here to give you real life solutions to create a life you'll love. Because the truth is, boo, you ain't just got problems, you got options. Hey y'all, hey. What up? Okay, listen. Today's episode is very important. Very important. But before I go forward, have you subscribed to my YouTube channel? I know y'all are busy. Y'all like to listen to the podcast. I see the numbers. But sometimes it's good to see me. I have a crop top today. I have on a deep plunge. Look at that collarbone. You only get to see that on YouTube. Okay. Maybe on an Instagram clip. But have you gone to my YouTube? You just got to do @Kim Arrington. You'll find me. My channel, just put in Kim Arrington. All my podcast episodes are there. Also, if you want one-on-one coaching, you know where to find me, kimarrington.com. Join my wait list. If you're interested in learning about my weight loss program, kimarrington.com/weight loss. That is my commercial. Here is our guiding. We're having a guiding quote for the day. And it comes from someone who I think is my bestie, who I'm going to meet, who I'm going to hug, who I love. Whenever I run, WAP is always on my playlist. Yes, I'm talking about Cardi B. Also, her money is on my playlist too. I saw this quote from Cardi B last year, and I loved it. It goes, me, unbothered, moisturized, in my lane, well hydrated, flourishing. Let me say that one more again. Me, unbothered, moisturized, in my lane, well hydrated, flourishing. We're going to talk about being unbothered today. Now, I want to make sure y'all know, unbothered isn't, I don't feel my feelings. Unbothered is where we get to. Like, I don't like what happened, but you know what? I'm going to take care of me, and it's all right because I know who I am. That is unbothered, okay? Moisturized is me. I demand that I put on lotion every day because I could skip the step. I got good body wash. I could skip the step, but putting on lotion literally every single day is a way I connect to myself. It's me touching my body. It's me taking time for myself. So is my meditation. So is my journaling. So is my getting up and going to burn to work out. So is my walking in the woods. That is me taking care of myself. You have the things you take care of yourself. In my lane is I ain't in other people's lanes. I ain't trying to do too much for all the folks. Well hydrated is y'all know your asses need water. Mm-hmm. And flourishing is a choice about how you want to live your life. So I want to tell you my laws, Coach Kim's laws of being unbothered. And I want you to talk to your people this week about what it means to be unbothered. Okay. So my first law, you do not need people to understand your desires to move forward with them. I repeat, you do not need people to understand your desires to move forward with them. You know, when we are coming into some knowledge about ourselves, and it could be that we're just stepping back into who we were originally before society told us all the things we were supposed to do and supposed to be. When we are coming into deep knowledge about ourselves, we don't have to explain that to other people because we are still getting the downloads of what it means. As a matter of fact, I keep my own counsel on things until I know what it means for me, because, and then sometimes I will be impatient. You'll catch it impatient, Coach Kim, where I'll be like, yeah, I don't really want to talk about or explain it. This is kind of what it is. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, we could talk about it later and I could go more in depth, but I don't need people to understand what I want and why I want it and how I'm going to get it and what that means. It does not make me an asshole or a shit basket. It means that I keep my desires close to my heart, and my realization that we live in this abundant universe that wants us to be happy and fulfilled and to know ourselves deeply. And if a desire comes to me, then it is meant for me. Now, because we are contrarians, I'm not talking about desires that that necessarily break laws or hurt other people, although there are some desires that people have where there are other places where they cannot fully be themselves, and that is the case. I'm not saying, and sometimes your desires are going to break the heart of someone because they have an image of who you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to be in their lives. Yes, I'm not talking about, y'all know what come on, y'all mature enough. I don't even need to qualify this more. The point is, and I don't want to, the point is that you may leave a job where the person, your supervisor, the CEO, CFO loves you, but it's time for you to move on. You may leave a marriage and the person may not understand it, or a relationship. You may decide that you were a Christian for all these years, but Buddhism speaks to you more. You may love living in the same town as your mom and your best friend, but the UK is calling you. Your desires are there for a reason, for you to intimately know yourself. And in my opinion, that is the reason we are in this life, to intimately know ourselves and to relate with the others. But the others do not get to have front seat in our desires. Unbothered. Okay, number 2. Y'all know I got a whole podcast dedicated to this. Other people's opinions will never matter more than my own. That doesn't mean I can't take feedback. I see how I had to come with your naysayer asses before. It doesn't mean you can't take feedback. Doesn't mean people can't say things to you. It doesn't mean that you can't occasionally say, oh, I see your point of view. But it does mean that other people's opinions are tended in their soil and yours are in yours. Other people's opinions are theirs and yours are yours. And it's okay for there to be no consensus in that. I did a whole episode called Everybody Talks About Everybody. That means that when you make decisions, people will have things to say about it. Do we stop them from saying things about it? I mean, if you want to. I don't use all those words anymore. You could speak on it. Just know that you might not get what you want from them, but you can always get what you want from you. Oh shit. You may not get what you want from, is that a new law? You may not get what you want from other people, but you can always create what you want from you. To get to the life you want, other people's opinions will need to go in one ear and out the other, will need to be on mute. You can also, what I say, go where the excitement is, where people understand you, where they allow you to be what you are, because I can tell you this, even from my life, I know the folks to tell what to and not to. Other people's opinions can never matter more than your own. Because If you let other people's opinions matter more, you look up and you are 85 and you didn't get to do the shit you wanted to do, or you are resentful or you're angry because your culture tells you you're supposed to do it this way, or your race says this way, or your society says this way, or your gender says this way, and your minister says this way, and you need to decide what you want. That's the root of people pleasing. I want to control how other people feel about me, so I do what I think they want. I have an episode on that. People pleasing ain't pleasing you. Number 3, I trust myself. Period. Repeat after me, children. I trust myself. Period. I trust myself. I trust myself. I trust myself even though my mother never allowed me to, I'm not talking about my mama, by the way, sorry, not you, Mama D, but I'm saying I trust myself even if my mother was narcissistic and she only wanted me to do what she wanted me to do. I trust myself even if I make a mistake. I trust myself to know what it is I want. I trust myself to be in a relationship that supports me. I trust myself to figure out what I need to do next. I trust myself. I didn't want to be a singer. I did not want to be a singer. I got accolades for being a singer. I still get asked about being a singer. Good marketing, Kim. Okay. Didn't want to be a singer. And I remember sitting down and having a conversation with a man who was well-intending. I'm sure he doesn't remember this conversation. And I said to him, you know, I don't want to do music anymore. I think I want to get into counseling. He was unable, he was like, no, I mean, the music is so good. And, you know, you got to go through school and you got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to do. And by the way, y'all, my dad, when he was killed, was working he had already gotten a master's in counseling. He was working on PhD work. Okay. And I was a singer for a couple of years after that, not because of that specific conversation. I did not know what else I wanted to do completely. Counseling really wasn't it. Life coaching, bomb. But the point is, I didn't trust myself to keep asking the question, but then that question came back. I trust myself. When I stopped singing, I didn't quite know what I was going to do. I trust myself. If you can affirm anything every day, I trust myself. I trust I will know the answers. I trust myself. 4, even though I feel insert an emotion, I'll get back to who I am. That's kind of I trust myself part 2. Even though my heart is broken, this relationship ended. Even though my mother passed away, even though the job I loved, I got laid off, I trust that I'm going to get back to who I am. Who I am, original me. That's a podcast, y'all. I'm doing a podcast on you all getting back to your original self. Original you, not the you the world is written on. Even though I feel in love and I'm not sleeping a lot and I'm hopped up on a dopamine, I know I'm going to get back to the me who is, and answer that. I know I will get back to who I am. I know I will. I can challenge who I am, but that still can be who I am. Y'all, I love books. I loved reading. Remember Book It? I had a million. I used to give away my Book It certificates. I got so many Book It's. You know, you read, you get the personal pan pizza. People thought I was lying. The teacher would have to draw little circles. I wasn't lying. I read books all the time. Then I was listening to a whippersnapper, Danielle Leslie. And she was talking about audiobooks. I was like, I would never, ever like listen to an audiobook. What in the hell? I need to hold the book in my hand. Y'all, I don't read no more. I listen to audiobooks. I love reading. I love words. Audiobooks allow me to take a walk while I'm listening. They allow me to drive to the Wilmington. Who I am as a person who wants to consume words. And now I do it. That's who I am. So even when the shit hits the fan and I haven't touched an audiobook in forever, I know my ass is going to get back to reading the audiobook. That is who I am. I know I'm going to walk. That's who I am. I'm going to hike. That's who I am. I loved being outside when I was growing up. I'm an athlete. That's who I am. I am who I am. You are who you are. Answer the question. Who are you? When things go terrible, and this, let me add to this law. There is no one in this world who gets to take that away from me. I take it away from me if it goes. Even though I got my heart broken, I'll get back to who I am, no matter what. You will too. Debbie Ford, 21-day consciousness cleanse changed my life. Debbie Ford is no longer with us. She's in the spirit realm. Love having Debbie over there because Debbie was talking to me the other day. I was reminded of this fire extinguisher story she talked about. And it's so funny. I went to Firehouse Subs the other day and there was a picture of a fire truck and the house was on fire. And I was like, Debbie, I see you, boo. Debbie, I see you. She talks about the fire alarm going off and you get in a bat and you destroying the fire alarm, okay? And then you put the bat up and you get back into bed. But you haven't addressed that there is a potential fire. You didn't go look for the fire. You didn't smell to see there was smoke. You just destroyed the thing that was causing the noise. And you didn't look at what was under it, what the thing was, what the fire was. Go check what's the fire. The pain, to get back to where, look at the pain, realize it's there, and know you're going to get back to who you are. That's the most affirmative thing you can say. This is so tough, but I'm going to get back to who I am. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to ask for help. Number 5, I'm allowed to change as often as I want. Hashtag audiobooks. Hashtag the 5 lives of me where I've been different people. Hashtag you were a nurse and now you're a jewelry maker. Hashtag. You're allowed to change as often as you want. I recommend it. Change back to who you were. Change back into a new person. Embrace whatever the newest thing is for you. Look at the people around you and say, oh yeah, I'm going to spend a year in Japan. You're allowed to change as often as you want. What do you want to change into? What do you want to become? The hungry caterpillar. Was it the very hungry caterpillar? The very hungry caterpillar. You're allowed to change. Permission granted by you. How I feel about me defines how others feel about me. Me, unbothered, moisturized, in my lane, well hydrated, flourishing. How I feel about myself, how I feel about me defines how others feel about me. If I want to feel confident, I can go on a confidence journey And then people are going to reflect that confidence back to me. Wow, Kim, you really, wow, Jill, you really seem like you know what you're talking about. Like, I love how you wore that. Or, wow, Jill, like, I love that you went for your PhD and you know, had a kid with special needs. Or, wow, Jill, like, I love that you decided that, you know, Oklahoma wasn't for you. I don't know, Jill. But the thing is, how you feel about you defines how other people see you. You really don't need for other people to see you anyway. What I'm really saying, let's break off that last part. Let's diagram that sentence. How I feel about me defines me. But I got to tell you, when I'm feeling the best about myself, when I'm feeling the most confident, when I'm feeling good, when I'm recognizing the confidence in others, how I feel about me defines how others see me, how I reflect myself, how you reflect yourself. Being unbothered doesn't mean you choose to be unbothered once and you're just unbothered forever. You got to keep choosing it. You got to keep saying, I don't need other people to understand my desires. I'm just going to move forward. The bridge is going to be made as I am moving forward. You know what? Jerika doesn't like me. I like me. It's okay she doesn't like me. How I feel about me matters more. I trust myself. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I trust it will. Even though I feel conflicted, I'm going to get back to who I am. I'm allowed to change as often as I want. Hell, my change might spark someone else's change. Changing is giving to myself and others. How I feel about me defines me and how others feel about me. Choose the unbothered life, y'all. See you next week.
Are you feeling what you just heard? Good, good. Repeat after me. You don't have to figure it out on your own again anymore. I'm here to help. Head over to kimarrington.com and download my free video series dedicated to getting you feeling your best right now. Look around, there's some good stuff waiting on you. Got questions? Well, we're always talking on the socials, so find me on YouTube, Insta, and the book. Don't be shy, y'all. Go listen to another episode or join me here the same time next week. Finally, don't keep good shit to yourself. Share this with a homie that could use some help too. Remember, we're not lying to ourselves anymore. We're not lying to our doctors. And you damn sure don't lie to your life coach.